And we want to speak to some party people who are here and are part of the process of collating their results. We've been joined by the Director of Elections for the Convention People's Party, James Kabila, or we call him Kwabena Bonfe. Kwabena, good morning to you, and thank you very much for joining us on TV3.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
I want to start from where we read that your presidential candidate, had called Nana Akufo-Addo to, I think, one, to concede and to congratulate him.
Well, it cannot be both. I mean, both scenarios. I mean, as in conceding defeat and congratulating at the same time, because I represent him and the party here. I haven't given him any figures to suggest that Akufo-Addo has won. I couldn't have done that, and I haven't done that. So it came to me as a surprise when media, social media, and then more interesting was when I heard Akufo-Addo himself, Nana-Addo, claim that he had been congratulated by Ivor, on his election. He hasn't been elected yet. So for me, that is an aside. I do know, upon speaking to my flag bearer, and he said he placed a call to the two leading candidates, i.e. Akufo-Addo, to concede that he was out of the elections as he sees it, based on, the trends that I was speaking. And he has also called His Excellency John Mahama to tell him too, the same thing, that he acknowledges that he is out. So whatever way or whichever way it would go, he was wishing them well. That is what I can say about it. But for me, we are done with 170 constituencies of the 275. So we have 105 more constituencies to go.
I want to ask about that, because that's the issue that we're waiting. The 170, but none of those have been certified, because we picked up from the Electoral Commission that parties have refused to sign those results, waiting for the manual verification. So you are holding the process, you're delaying the process.
It cannot be entirely accurate. Indeed, what collation sheets we are given are photocopied sheets of the originals that is in the custody of the Electoral Commission. So you have difficulty sometimes reading some of them. But I must say, of the first 7 or so collation sheets that came, I was sitting here with Mr. Kenofurata, who was representing the NPP on the first night. I was here. My brother Atik Mohammed was representing the PNC, and I think the NDC was represented by Ahmed Gadel, and we signed about 7 of them. It was when they were coming in droves as they were piling up. Then we decided that okay, we need to be able to check with our officials who represented us whether or not they.
And the polling stations.
Yeah, no, not at the polling stations and the constituency collation centers, whether or not we are signing on to what actually happened there. But again, even before anything, we have begun, identifying some issues on the face of the collated result sheets. And of the 170, I can say confidently that I have 10 of them with issues. And there are issues, some you may describe serious, some you may describe minor, but there are issues that border on infraction irregularities that we all need to discuss. The EC need to clarify. So I don't think that there is a delay, as some people want to claim. We have never had results since our democracy declared under 24 hours. Not in 92, not in 96, not in 2000, not 2004, not 2008, not 2012. You see, so I don't know what the compare is, or where the comparison is arising, where people are claiming that the process has delayed. We're now entering.
Well, that could also be because media has put out figures that they've also picked up from centers and have projected that Nana Akufo-Addo would win, and so naturally their supporters are excited, they are anxious, they want the official declaration from the Electoral Commission.
Those are provisional, and you can't take it away from the media. Okay. What I do want to say is that what the media has done is to lose sight of one fundamental difference in our electoral system. Ghana, in the presidential election, there is one constituency. You cannot begin to be declaring them one constituency after the other, as is done in the parliamentary. And we make sure that post the seminal presidential election petition, and the Supreme Court actually made a pronouncement on that the returning officer, who is the chairperson of the commission, must see all the polling station result sheets and the special voting sheets before she makes a pronouncement to determine who is president-elect. As we speak now, I just got wind of the fact that some more constituencies have come in, but we are yet to be served with them. So what were we expecting? You know what the media has done? What the media has done is to tally the parliamentary results along the presidential results per constituency. Charlotte Osei doesn't have that convenience to do. She cannot do that and say maybe, and you know, as some people have done, which is creating an error in the minds of people, a presidential election is not declared per region. Neither is it declared per constituency. It's declared in Ghana as a constituency, and that is the whole.
Yeah, but it comes from polling stations.
Absolutely.
And all of that.
But it's a combined effect. So if you take the parliamentary system as an example, they tally all the polling stations. In my constituency, for example, you have got 147 polling stations. All of them must be put together before you can make a determination that this is the MP elect, that is the what do you call it, member of parliament elect. And I believe that we all have to be patient. The rush will not serve anybody's interest. We should all wait patiently, and I'm sure in all things being equal, by end of day, or maybe by noon today, we would know who the president-elect would be, and all of us will have a united Ghana to run.
Thank you very much. Kwabena Bonfe is with the CPP. He's the Director of Elections for the Convention People's Party. I would want Atik Mohammed. He's with PNC, and he will be speaking to us as well. You have been here, and earlier we had a conversation, and you mentioned that EC officials left you.
Yeah, the point is, we were thinking that the Electoral Commission, or the official at least who are supposed to deal with us, would be with us all through. Unfortunately, at some point in time yesterday in the night, they left us. And these are part of the things that have accounted for the delay in getting this exercise over and done with. So this is the point.
Well, at what time did they leave you?
They left around 11 o'clock. And once that happened, we didn't have the opportunity to continue getting the sheets or the collated sheets from the various constituencies. And it disabled us from continuing with the exercise we were doing, which was do a tabulation of what came and do verification of what came to be sure that indeed these are the documents that ought to have been faxed to us at the National Collation Center.
But have you had any issues? Are the figures you're receiving from the constituencies and here, do they tally? Are they same? So
far, the verification we've done has proven that we are getting fairly accurate figures. They don't seem to be departing so much from that which our agents are confirming to us. But there are some minor problems on the face of the collated sheets.
What are those?
Sometimes you would have some miswritings, I would call them, so that if it were supposed to be 1,500, it can be 1,050 written in writing or in words, but the figure will be 1,500. There's even an example I think I just saw. These are the latest batch of, collation sheets they've given us. This is for Krachi Nuchumuru, and this is 8,793, but it is written 80,000. So there is a discrepancy. 8,000 cannot be 80,000. But I want to regard these as minor problems. These are things we can surmount. Together we can discuss these issues with the Electoral Commission. And that is the problem I had personally, that if they were around some of these things, we could sort them out quickly with them, and we can quicken the pace of this exercise. But I'm sure better late than never, we still would have the opportunity to do so. And I'm hoping that before the close of today, we should have been able to deal with this issue. And Ghanaians will be spared the needless anxiety they have been plunged into. I think that they've gone to exercise a franchise.
So you're saying all the parties agree and you're willing to sign the documents. Is that what you're saying?
Those that we have verified and confirmed, we have no hesitation signing them. The only problem we had was who was there to superintend over those signings. That has been the problem. But I've listened to some other issues. Look, let not the impression be created that people are sending segmented results. As far as the presidential results are concerned, the aggregation that I've seen on TV and elsewhere, it's just like when you are doing constituency collation. You take polling station by polling station. So in the case of Ghana, it is true, it is one constituency. And we are doing it collation center by collation center, which would be the equivalent of a polling station in the case of a parliamentary election. So, and it is when you aggregate these bits or these individual collation results, constituency results, that you get the total outcome for the presidential elections. And I think that for us, our candidate conceded, and he's been vindicated by what we are seeing here. The margins continue to be, such that...
Disappointed that you couldn't make an impact. This is how many times? Fifth time that Dr. Edward Mahama has stood on.
Not necessarily, because, and I am not particularly perturbed because he was preaching a change agenda. Almost everybody else in opposition was preaching that same agenda, that there was the need for a paradigm shift. And I think that voters were torn between two choices. Either we vote for the individual candidates preaching change, or we sit down and choose amongst them that particular person who has the capacity to deliver a resounding victory for the change agenda. And I think eventually they decided that Nana Addo has what it takes to deliver the change project or to bring the change project, and they voted massively for it. And that's why our candidates have decided to concede. I am amazed that now we have been told that the CPP didn't concede. I have never heard of conceding to two candidates. You concede to only one.
No, he mentioned that he said the race is between the President John Mahama and Nana Akufo-Addo.
Conceded to two candidates. It is strange. It is weird that one person calls to concede to two people. You must have only one winner in the contest. So you are either conceding to Nana Addo or you are conceding to John Mahama. It couldn't be the two. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for talking to us here. All right. So we're still at the Electoral Commission headquarters. You heard from the Director of Elections for the CPP and also Communications, Mohammed Atik of the PNC. We'll still go out there and look at the security situations there and report back to you